I'm going to introduce Joyce. So Joyce Beedle, she's a registered nurse. She is one of the pioneers of compassionate Alzheimer's care. Like, you hear about one of the pioneers, not a lady come lately kind of thing. She's right there from the beginning and has over 40 years of professional hands-on experience, not just theoretical, like it's really hands-on, with several decades of actually doing it herself for her mom and now her dad. She does dementia care consulting in memory care centers with family caregivers. She is the author of the Care Book, a workbook for caregiver peace of mind. She's been a consultant on lots of books and videos. She graduated with honors from the University of Arizona. Wow, what in the world are you doing out here? And in 1978, earned her Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. So welcome, Joyce. We're excited to have you. Please take it away.
Woo. Okay, you guys, I'm happy to be here. What I thought I would do to get started with our thinking of you, caregivers need attention to, is I just wanted to share two quick stories. One that a woman brought to me and one is me. So here we go. The first one, this is probably about 30 years ago. And there was a woman who was taking care of her husband at home. And I had been meeting with her every now and again, once a month kind of deal. Anyway, we knew each other. We had been seeing each other enough that we knew each other. And she came in on this one particular day and she was waiting for me with her head down. And when I said, "Hi, Gloria," she went, "Oh, I've ruined everything," and put her head back down. And I was like, "What?" And we got up to move. She had her husband with her and she just sort of reached her arm out and towed him behind her. There was nothing friendly in that towing. And she kept staring at the floor. And if you can imagine this person who's usually vibrant, and she just was like sunken into her shoulders. And so when we sat down, I said, I don't know where to start. What's up? What's here?" And she said, last night, I destroyed over 60 years of marriage. I did it in a split second. I hit my husband. I hit him when I was mad and I wanted to hit him. She said, "He's never laid a hand on me." And then she started to cry. And then her husband, who was not a guy who could talk anymore, he didn't know what room he was in. She kind of pulled him along, usually lovingly. Her husband, who's next to this woman that he doesn't recognize, he doesn't know who she is, she starts to cry and he puts his arm around her and pats her and said, "Nothing can be that bad. Nothing can be that bad." Whereupon, like I'm now, I dissolved into a bucket of tears and she just burrowed into him, which I couldn't have set that up to make that happen. It was the way it was meant to be so that she could reconnect with him. Because when she said she had destroyed everything, she believed it. She thought there was no way to have her connection anymore with her husband be loving. And in that great way that dementia folks can surprise us from their depths, he took care of it. What I'd like to do this evening is try to provide some very simple, very simple things to try for our big caregiving roles to help avoid that sensation that Gloria had. I may not be able to help you prevent things that you wish you hadn't done, but at least to not take it so far as to thinking that there was nothing she could do to repair. So it'll be simple things tonight. And then you see me staring at the ceiling. My dad, my 93-year-old dad, has been in the emergency room and then the hospital just the last, what day is today? Tuesday. So he must have gone in on Sunday. He was in the hospital Monday and he got out today. Which means that right before doing this with you, which I'm wanting to be here and wanting it to be precious, that I was like all stretched out thin with a bunch of stuff that I wasn't expecting. And so in moments like that, my husband has this line that he said to me 30 years ago, and sometimes he says it again. And the line is this: Joyce, you do know you're no fun anymore, don't you? I have to tell you, the first time he said that to me, it brought me up really short. And I didn't say it. I was good about zipping the lip. But what I thought is, how could you, with as much as I have on my plate, you want me to be Miss Entertainment now? I was mad. I was really mad at asking more of me. It took me a while, a long while, a month to a while, for me to go and look myself in the mirror and say, okay, this was important. He had to say it. He didn't say it to be mean. So what am I supposed to be learning here? And looking in the mirror, what I realized was funny things were happening. I knew they were funny, and there wasn't a giggle or a smile or a ha-ha sensation in me. Those funny things happened, and I was just numb. There were also a lot of sad things happening because I was spending a lot of time with families that had dementia. And you saw me at the beginning, how weepy I got here just talking about Gloria. But in that window, when my husband was saying, you realize you're no fun anymore, the sad things didn't make me choke up or weep or numb. So again, tonight, what I want to share are some simple, I don't think too simplistic, but simple in order to make it more likely for success. Some simple ways to hopefully avoid getting all the way numb, like I'm inclined to do. I'm still working on it. Or to land where Gloria did, which she thought she'd thrown her whole marriage down the tube. I don't want either one of those extremes. I don't want the numb, and I don't want that I've ruined everything. So hopefully that's where I'm going to be taking you tonight. Now, there's a few things I'm going to do. I will be sharing some information. I will be asking you to share information, but essentially what I'm using tonight is stuff from a book that I wrote. So now I'm going to do a share screen because I want to take you, I want to make this the way I want it before I do it. Okay, here's my share screen button, and we're looking at this one. Okay, and I think now you can see fill in the blank, right? And you can see my little cursor wiggle waggling around, I'm hoping.
Not yet. You might want to try share screen one more time.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Not only do I have to do share screen, then I have to hit the little button that says share. Okay, here I am. Now I bet you can see my cursor wiggling around on there. Okay, perfect. So this is page 10 out of the book that I wrote. It says page 10 right here on the top, and it is titled Stressors, Soothers, and Signs of Trouble Brewing. And this page was actually written, when I originally wrote it, it was with folks looking at the person who's receiving care. So the top is examples And then the bottom half, if you will, is blank. Okay, enough of this page. You don't get too worried. We're going to have time with it. What I have done for tonight with these little scribbles up here at the top and some others that I didn't give you is we're changing the point of view. It's still page 10 from my book. It still says stressors, soothers, and signs of trouble brewing. We're going to be using those words. But this is instead going to be for the caregiver. So the wording changes. It says this page will answer the following questions. What makes me upset? Think about it. There's another one here that should have more scribbles. What is irresistibly calming or comforting for me? And then another is, what behavior in myself means I'm becoming annoyed, or I'm becoming mad, or whoops, I'm already really annoyed, or I'm already really mad? What is it that I do that I can recognize in myself? Okay, so again, we had fill in the blank that's for the folks we spend our days helping. And then this is, we're modifying it. So both of these pages I provided. So hopefully when you registered, you had the option to get these, but they are there for you. And now where we're going to go is to a different page, which this is page 57. So most of the book is actually fill in the blank, like the page 10 I've already showed you. But page 57 is in the part of the book that's resources. So it's food for thought, helpful tips. So here we go. This page actually is titled, kind of like tonight's talk, Thinking of You, Caregivers Need Attention Too. So now think about this. Do you ever hear yourself asking, what about me? Or hey, isn't it my turn to just be pampered for a moment? Or why can't I get just a simple thank you? Or I just need a little time to myself. Is that too much to ask? So hear me as I'm saying that and go, is that sound like me talking to me the way Joyce is talking to Joyce? For those of us who take care of others, it's often really difficult to identify what we need to carry on as a kind, loving, patient caregiver. In this article, which I'm reading some of it to you, I will be sharing a way that you can address some of your own needs. So it's important to determine how you can continue to gain energy. Caregiving cannot just be an energy drain. Human bodies do not have endless amounts of energy. Just a little reminder in case you were overlooking that fact. It is critical to figure out some way to give ourselves a daily battery recharge, a daily way to get some more go power. And I know right now you're like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? That's why we're together tonight. I'm not kidding. And we really do want to work on this. I know that this sounds good on paper, but in reality, it may not be easy. It may, in fact, seem a whole bunch easier to put the whole business off. I'm just going to keep on going. I've heard a lot of family members say, I'm going to do everything I can for as long as I can. I think that's going to work. And if I can't go on, well, then sadly, that'll be time for my person to move away to wherever, somebody else's home, to memory care, to residential care, to wherever. I'm just going to go until I can go. And then when I can't go, somebody else will do it. So there's a really big problem with the plan being, I'm just going to keep on going, use myself up until there's nothing left, until thoroughly exhausted, until that super numb place where I was, and even going beyond that. Here's the problem, is that if let me do it this way. Here's the problem. Your creativity and energy will be really desperately needed when a move is happening. The folks that are inheriting your person will want to pick your brain. They're going to want your encouragement. They're going to want to know what you've tried that didn't work, what did work. They need you. It's not the time to just fall apart, crawl into bed and say, I'll see you in a year. It's really not the time. So that's the problem with go, 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 and then say, okay, I give, move them out. That's the problem. And it's probably one I'm harping on because I've seen when someone does get moved and there's no one to fill the very willing caregivers in, it doesn't go well, in all candor. That's tough for everybody. It's tough for the brand new caregivers, and it's tough for the person who's moving. So some people, when I say this, call this reverse guilt, that I'm saying in order to help the other guy, you need to help yourself. It's sort of reverse guilt, but it's true. So using yourself up is a grave disservice to the person you really are wanting to help. And it's going to be those precious things like what a certain gesture means when the person says it. The staff are going to want to know what that means. And this actually, for one person, meant put the popsicle in my hand now. I'm waiting for my popsicle. But you know, who would know? That's not crystal clear, that one. And also, sometimes there's little short phrases that say a whole lot that the person uses routinely. And those are the kind of precious things that the caregivers that are receiving your loved one, the person you're concerned about, the person you're helping, the person who is receiving them, they need that stuff from you. And I want you to have the creativity and energy to share it. So in order to have that creativity and energy to share, what we're going to work on tonight together is this business of identifying your own stressors, soothers, and signs of trouble brewing. So I'm going to take a minute to explain what I mean by stressors, soothers, signs of trouble brewing. And while I'm explaining these, I want you to just kind of go, oh yeah, I have, oh yeah, there's one. So kind of let your own personal examples percolate while I'm doing this. So here we go. Stressors are things that are upsetting for whatever reason. It might be as big as really overwhelming money problems. It might be stuff that seems trivial, like the weeds in the garden or the flower bed. It might be something predictable that doesn't go well, like the unhappy bathing routine. It might be a topic. It might be something that gets talked about that makes you crazy. But if you find yourself tightening your jaw, clenching your fist, not able to sleep when you're exhausted and you just want sleep, think about what went on and what happened, and then just like a word or a phrase, what are those stressors? Because those things drain you of energy, and I'm trying to figure out ways that we give you more energy every day. Soothers, this is the next S. We're going to do the 3 S's tonight: stressors, soothers, signs of trouble brewing. Soothers are things that calm or comfort, are irresistibly for yourself calming and comforting. Those are the things that make you go, oh, right? Soothers. It may be as simple as looking out the window to check on the little eggs to see if the birds have hatched in that nest that's right out there. It may be as simple as just closing your eyes for a second, maybe that. It may be laughing about things funny, like how underwear, when somebody puts it on their head, looks really funny. Maybe laughing at how the stuff is going is soothing. Soothers are the soothers are the things that are going to help restore creativity and restore energy and help recharge your battery. Okay, now we're going on to the last S, which is signs of trouble brewing. So these are the things that are indicators. They're your own personal indicators, nobody else's. Nobody else can tell you these. They need to register in your heart and soul. They're yours. Signs of trouble brewing, those are the indicators that you're becoming off balance or upset, or maybe you are already scale tip too far, like my husband was calling me on, you're no fun anymore. You know, that was his way of talking to me about it. I am fun, by the way. I'm a lot of fun, but I really wasn't at that moment. He was right spot on. So then things that might be like, oh yeah, that's a sign of trouble brewing for me. And one of them for me was that I would frequently come home from work and find my milk in the cupboard with the cereal bowls. Because when I'd had breakfast in the morning, I'd put the milk away. I had, but not into the refrigerator. Another one that I was really good at was being exhausted, driving home and missing the turn to my house. The turn that had been the same turn for 15 years. Whoops. Another one for me was being super short-tempered. I have a long fuse normally. I have a really long fuse and a lot of giggles in there. Short-tempered, no giggles. That's when you look in the mirror and go, ooh, that's not like me. Who's this person? This isn't me. So those kind of things that make you feel kind of unfamiliar in your own skin, like who moved in here? This is not me anymore. If some of those pop in, those could be signs of trouble brewing. Now we're going to come back to this page because we're going to use this information. But what I'm going to do right now is stop sharing that page. And I want to share a different page. And I want this one. I always want to touch the page that I want, and I have to touch this other thing first. Okay. So this business of thinking of you, caregivers need attention to, it's not tidy. And so I did not put a very pretty symmetrical circle. I did not put a tidy box, and I didn't make it all one color. I did it this way because I think caregiving is very colorful and there's a lot of it that's beautiful if we are looking for it. But I think it's important to acknowledge that it's messy. It's just plain old messy. And so that's why this page looks like that. Okay, now, having said all those things, I believe what you're looking at now is kind of a yellow page and it says stressors. And then it has some big bold yellow and everybody can see that, right? Okay, good. So here's what I'm going to ask. And this is when you do your thinking. I would like you to think of 3 of your very own stressors. And I want to be able to know what those are. And we're going to write them all on here. And in order to do that, I'm going to suggest first off that you just use the first 3 that pop into your head. When you get going on this, there might be a whole lot of them rolling around in there. And then you're like, well, I want to pick the biggest or the best or the most dramatic. Just pick the first 3 that pop up for today, tonight, right now. That'll get us where we need to go. So what I'd like you to do is type your stressors in, and my directions say in the chat box. And Benjamin, I'm just going to ask you, do you want to make chat's the right place to go? Okay. And so Benjamin, who's helping me, he can read those. I cannot, but he will read them out loud so we can all hear them. And then what I will do is fill in the blanks here so we can all see them too. And then if you want to be anonymous in this process, when you're writing in the chat box, in the chat, you have the option to put to all panelists, or if it goes to all panelists, then you are anonymous, correct? Okay, so that's the way we want to do it if you don't want your name to be here. Now, this is the reminder, and you can start writing in that chat box now. Go for it, because what I'm doing is I'm going to give you a reminder. So what I'm asking for is stressors. And again, these are the things that can drain your energy. They might make your jaw tighten, your clenched fists. They might make you lose sleep. They might be upsetting. It may just be a topic that drives you nuts. It can be a chore or whatever. Again, these might be predictable. They might not. They might be something that everybody else says is no big deal, but it drives you nuts, like the weeds in your flower garden. Or it could be like money concerns. Okay, now, Benjamin, I'm going to ask, has anybody put anything in the chat? Because I'm hoping we have some things to share. Okay, cool, you guys. He's nodding, so I'm already going to say thank you. Good.
We've got 2, so we're still waiting for about 10 more folks. So
okay,
we got 2 here. We got Joey, I believe it's Joey. Joey, money, work, politics, and labels. Money, politics, and labels.
Yes.
We have an anonymous folk who says leaving husband alone.
Right.
And worrying that he won't turn off the faucet. So leaving husband alone, worrying he doesn't turn off the faucet.
Got it.
Another anonymous says, mom's default repetitive statement.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what I should be doing.
Thank you. Ooh, yep. I got to say, you guys, right now, I'm pretty pleased that so far my typing is almost working.
And then we have another anonymous. Oh, no, this one's not anonymous. Loris says money. Loris, Loris, money, and losing myself.
Mm-hmm.
No E there, but money.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. Thanks.
Losing myself, weeds. I'm not quite sure what she means by this, but no writing. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, no writing might be that writing is something that's comforting and there's not enough time to write. That's what I'm going to read.
Riding, R-I-D-I-N-G.
Oh, riding. Okay, there's a lot of writings. There's ride a bike, ride a horse, ride.
Oh, giving up my horse. Yep, that's what it is.
Okay, I got it. Writing.
Good. You are a good choice to guess. Oh, yes, Loris, I hear you. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. And then
I want to make sure on this one, the default repeated, I don't know what I should be doing. Was that anonymous?
Yep, that was anonymous.
Okay. Okay.
And then we have another anonymous.
Okay.
It says money. Going from one phase to another.
Mm-hmm.
And then tiring of the sentence of the day. Getting tired of the sentence of the day.
Oh, got it. Okay, there we go. For a second, I was like, what? Going from one phase to another? That's a good way to put it. Tired of the sentence. Sentence of the day. Kind of sounds like Queen for a Day, right? Sentence of the day, it's the of the day. There's a special for the day, only it's not a happy special, right?
Yes, we have another anonymous who says, being asked the question I just answered again.
I'm laughing. I'm so sorry. I have been doing that for the last 3 days, and you just hit a nerve where my laughter pops out. It's usually My laughter's right on top like that. Okay, so this is being asked the question again that I just answered.
Yes.
Good.
And then Robin says her stressor is mom fighting to be in control.
Right. More? How are we doing, Benjamin?
We have another anonymous who says, being told how to do something I already know how to do over and over again.
Yeah.
And then the same person who said, mom says, I don't know what I should be doing over and over again, also said that their family does not listen to her when she's trying to share. So not being listened to by their family. I think that's everybody.
Great. Okay.
Robin also says bath time.
Bath time. Robin, bath time.
Oh, and I should say what I was trying to communicate was family does not listen to this person, not to her mom, but when this person is trying to communicate,
okay,
this is really challenging because the other family just won't listen.
Me. I'm just going to put me
Yep, exactly.
when I'm trying to share. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, then Robin said bath time as well. Big stressor.
See, did I get it in there? Oh, I put Robin. Duh. Sorry about that. Bath time is what we want. Sorry, Robin, I got it in your box, but needed the words. Just so you know, there's this really big lag from when my fingers go on the keys to when they show up. So it's a funny brain bender for me. But so far, so good. Benjamin's good at repeating, so I'm keeping up. So what we have, Joey started us off with money, work, and labels as 3 stressors. We had anonymous, leaving husband alone, worrying that he's not going to turn the faucet off. Another anonymous, where mom's default repeating and repeating. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know. What should I be doing? I don't know. What should I be doing? That's really hard. The repetitive questions are hard, always, all of these. And then it's equally hard when you want to talk about it to family and family doesn't want to listen. That's who you would hope would be your support, but it's also why you want other support that does listen. Again, money comes up again. Losing myself, I emphasize the losing with an extra O in there. Losing myself in the process. The weeds make me crazy. Not getting to ride my horse or a horse. Again, money's in here a lot. Going from one phase to another phase and getting just tired of the sentence of the day. Being asked the question again and again and again that I just answered. And then Robin said, mom, who's fighting to be in control. Bath time or bathroom? Did I end up getting that correct? And then another anonymous being told how to do something. Joyce, there we go. being told how to do something that I know how to do, but being told how to do it over and over and over. So just random aside on the human part. First off, there's not a single one of these that's like brand new. And part of why I'm putting these up here for all of us to see is go, wow, look at that. Other people are going crazy with the same sentence. I mean, we have that in this anonymous one. I don't know what I should be doing. We have the sentence of the day is making me crazy. We have the being asked the same question. And I don't want to be told what I already know how to do. So there's a huge commonality there. Also, like I said, with the money. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is I just want to make sure all of us that are here tonight have that reminder of we do not need to be alone. These are not stressors that are unique to us, not to make you feel bad about not being unique, but we're in it together. And so these are things that we can help each other with. But for now, I'm going to make you kind of go in an unusual way. We're going to be done with our stressor conversation for right now. And what I want you to do now is just leapfrog away from thinking about the stressor. And I want you to leapfrog to the different point of view. I want you to revel in your soothers. And we're going to do the same process of sharing soothers. So it'll be, again, type them in like you did. Benjamin's going to read to us like he did. I'm going to read them aloud and type them like I did. And you did a great job of figuring out how to be anonymous. So spot on. Carry on with that if that's your preference. And then here's your reminders while you're thinking, and go ahead and start chatting because I'm going to be refreshing your memory here. Soothers are the things that restore or renew at least some of your energy. Those are the things that comfort. And actually, we want this different word here. Those are things that are irresistibly, this is an important, keep in mind, irresistibly, however that word is spelled, that are irresistibly calming and comforting for you. Those are things that bring that wonderful sensation of that, you know, where your shoulders drop way down and they're not pulled clear up into your ears, that kind of stuff, that it's strong, it happens and you calm down. You don't have to make yourself calm down. Soothers are the things that if they're there, they just get to you in a positive, good way. Maybe, like I said before, looking at the bird's nest, maybe eating a treat like ice cream, maybe closing your eyes, maybe walking the dog, or maybe thinking about how funny underwear looks when it's put on someone's head. Do you like my tidy whities? So soothers are those irresistible ones. I kind of feel like I should maybe wear this beret for a little bit. We're going to leave my peekaboo tidy whities.
Julie, is this allowed? Is this allowed, Julie? Are we okay? Are we going to get in trouble by anybody here? Is this live streaming right now?
Yeah, it could be. Yep, we'll go this way. We'll make it be more. There, now I kind of look like the baker. Okay, you got it. This emphasizes, I think, laughter is the best medicine. And I am on that funny note. Ready. Benjamin, is there anything you want to read to me?
Yes, I am ready. So we have, I think this, I can't tell if this person wants to be anonymous or not.
Okay, so let me throw something in. Wait, breathe again, breathe again. Let me throw something in. I'm going to just say a quick clarification. Soothers are not remedies for specific stressors. Soothers are a grab bag of anything that makes you feel better.
Okay.
But I don't want you to put any energy into matching up to the stressor that you wrote. They're disconnected. Okay, I needed to say that.
Sitting under my tree with the summer breeze. It's person number one.
That sounds fabulous. Sitting under my tree.
I'm guessing it's a peach tree, maybe, or a lotus tree, maybe, or
Right?
fragrant tree.
You know, it's interesting how precise it gets, but in my mind's eye, there's a tree in my backyard that doesn't have fruit or flowers, but the leaves make the most beautiful sound when there's a breeze.
Mm.
So when I got the summer breeze, I was like, oh, I know that sound, which is the tree, not the breeze. Okay, is this anonymous, right?
Yeah, it's anonymous. Also, they said dancing.
Nice.
Walking the dog.
Nice. I got him.
Okay. Next person, number 2. Anonymous says time alone.
That becomes really precious. I mean, not for everybody. Not everybody likes time alone. Some people, time alone is torture. But for some of us, time alone is like the coolest soother. Okay.
Walking.
Oh, same person.
Yeah, sorry, I was waiting. Sorry. I was expecting the 3 little dots. So I was waiting for
Yep, sorry, you're right.
Time alone, walking, and reading a good book.
Got it.
Next person, also anonymous, says deep breathing technique.
Yeah.
Deep breathing technique. Sitting, watching the river. Kind of getting jealous. There's a lot of people on the call today who have like 5 acres. They got a horse, they got trees, they got a river. I'm like looking out my window going, okay, how do I do that?
Right. We're gonna get you one of those walls that's a virtual view.
Sitting, watching the river, and music.
Oh, music. Okay, goody.
I think it's Ozzy Osbourne, but they didn't say, but that's just my guess. But
here we go. Who's next?
And then we have Joey says music, exercise. Joey does belly dancing, by the way. That's his favorite type of exercise. Singing. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Singing and loving the furry kiddos. Singing and loving the furry kiddos. And then Paige says, getting alone, I'll read it to you again because she's very descriptive, which is wonderful. Getting alone time in the pool after everyone is gone at night to stretch and reflect. Getting alone time in the pool after everyone's gone at night to stretch and reflect. And sitting alone in my car, looking at the river. There the river is again. Oh my gosh. Gee, I've got to get out to the river. Sitting alone in the car, looking at the river, listening to radio and playing games on my phone. Listening to radio and playing games on my phone.
Thank you for the repeat. Oops, I'll get it.
And then one more thing Paige says is talking to somebody else about what's going on in their life instead of anything having to do with mom stuff.
Okay, here we go. Talking with somebody else about their life and nothing to do with mine or mom.
About mom's stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and are we ready here? We've got Loris says she really enjoys feeling safe.
Big deal. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of these are big deals. I don't mean to say anything is more big than another, but feeling safe, you want that.
Feeling family support.
Mm-hmm. That's a fun topic. Safe is the word I want. I'll get there. Okay. And feeling.
Feeling family support.
Mm-hmm.
And then even 1 hour to ride horseback.
Good deal.
We have another person who's anonymous who says they like to play games on their phone, lay in bed, and watch dumb reality TV.
I like it.
I'm guessing they're referring to The Bachelor, but I'm not sure. Guessing that's what they're referring to. Yeah, laying in bed, watching dumb reality TV, and playing games on my phone.
Watching dumb reality TV and playing games on my phone. Okay.
And then we have one more person who says that they really like road trips. This would be Robin. Robin says she likes road trips.
Okay.
Heading to the coast. Time to spend with my kids and grandkids.
Mm.
And then music.
So I have road trips, heading to the coast, time to spend with my kids.
And grandkids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And music.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I want kids to say kids. It doesn't want to say kids.
We'll know what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, how seriously can we take what a nurse with underwear on her head types anyway?
Thank you so much. It's really quite comfy. Do we have any more of these, Benjamin?
That's it. Paige just notes to Loris that she'd settle for 5 minutes of getting a horse's nose.
Yeah, there you go. To pet a horse's
Yeah.
nose. Okay, Paige and Loris can hook up horse time together. They can go horsing around. Huh. Okay. So on this list, again, mostly anonymous, which is cool. I'm glad we have that option. I'm going to read them out again because I think it's good to drink these in. Imagine them, even if it wasn't your soother, and look at them and maybe go, oh, that's one that I could use. I haven't been doing that. That's a good one for yourself. I don't need to hear it, but just that's why we're going to review these. So, sitting under my tree with a summer breeze, dancing, walking the dog, time alone, walking, just walking, reading a good book, deep breathing technique, sitting, watching the river, music again, exercise, singing, loving the furry kiddos. Those are from Joey. And from Paige, getting alone time in the pool to stretch and reflect and kind of regroup, it sounds like there. Listening to the radio, playing games on my phone, talking with somebody else about their life that's got nothing to do with my mom's stuff. And Loris said, feeling safe and feeling family support, and even 1 hour to ride on horseback is such a great soother. Lying in bed, watching dumb reality TV. I think this is some of that laughter is the best medicine stuff, and playing games on my phone, sort of mind break, consuming things. Road trips, getting a different point of view, heading to the coast, some new scenery. Time to spend with kids and grandkids always makes you giggle. And again, music. So when we look at these themes, and everybody's music preference is going to be different, but music is strong in here. We have music, listening to the radio, which could be talk shows, could be music, and more music, a lot of music. There's a lot of research on music. It's worth listening to somebody do a presentation on it for yourself as well as for the person who has some kind of dementia. Music's magic is what I say. So all of these, I just want you to take that second with the big deep breath and go, I'm drinking in these soothers. Ooh, wow. And maybe I got a new one here. And when you are done with that breath and you open your eyes, look, I'm done with the underwear head. Okay, if you're ready, you can take another breath if you want it, because that was kind of nice, huh? We're going to do another one of those. Shoulders drop away, arms hang loose, probably close your eyes, and then kind of slowly inhale and choose to open your eyes if you want. And if you're with me, now I'm going to stretch you in yet another direction. Here we go. This format will look familiar now, so you don't have to think quite as hard. We're working on signs of trouble brewing, your signs of trouble brewing. And again, think of those first 3 that popped in your head when I was reading those to you before. Same technique, type it in the chat. Benjamin's going to read. I'm going to type them so we can all see. Benjamin, I need a nod. To me, the typing in, I think, is worthwhile. Does that seem like worthwhile time in your viewing? Or is it going too slow with the typing? Oops, I can't hear you. So I just need a nod. Yes, type them in, or no, don't type them in.
I think that's probably the best way for now. Maybe next time, I could have the ability to maybe paste them in just to save time, because people are typing them in. That'd be kind of
yep. Because it's slow. That's why I was asking. Okay, we're going to stick with my slow. We're carrying on, and we can do improvements on another round. Thanks. Okay, here we go. So signs of trouble brewing. These are the things that are indicating the scale is tipping the wrong way. Your emotions, your peace, that's becoming off balance or upset. And again, think of my milk in the cereal cupboard, not supposed to be there, missing the turn towards home, or just finding yourself wondering who moved into your skin or who that person is that's in the mirror. This is just not like me. And notice. So now, do we have any things showing up in the chat? Okay, cool, I'm ready.
Yes, we do. Okay, Loris says, weepy, short-tempered, no giggles, and not sleeping. Weepy, short-tempered, no giggles, and not sleeping.
Short-tempered. Okay, ready.
Yep, and then we've got small red, this is Shayna. Okay. Small red itchy dot on my elbow. Short-tempered and tight shoulders. And then page.
Small red itchy dot on my elbow. I'm going to do
Tight
short
shoulders, yeah.
temper. And there was one more that I need you to give me from, I believe this is Shanna, Banana Shanna.
Yeah, tight shoulders.
Tight shoulders, right, got it. Okay, thanks, Shanna. Ready for the next one, Benjamin?
Paige says short-tempered and snapping at mom.
Yeah, short-tempered. I'll fix it, that typo in a second. Short-tempered.
Snapping.
Snapping at mom.
Missing turns when driving.
My kind of girl. Missing turns while driving.
And feeling that I'm never going to have the life I want ever again. Feeling like I'm never going to have the life I want again.
I'm never, that's big. I'm never going to have the life I want ever again. Good job, Paige.
Mary, let's see someone else here.
Yep, skip.
Okay. We have an anonymous that says, losing my temper.
Yep.
And feeling like I need time alone, but I don't get it.
Okay, losing my temper, feeling like I need time alone. Another?
That's it. That's it for now.
Okay, we're good. So signs of trouble brewing. Short-tempered pops up in here a lot. The snapping, the popping, the short-tempered. And, you know, the good thing is to notice it. Like, oh, whoops, that's not supposed to happen. Now what we're going to do, and I'm just going to do my thank yous. Thank you, Laura, Shanna, Paige, and Anonymous. I need your words to help the whole group. And I need your willingness to make this all work. We can use each other's ideas. So thank you so much for putting stressors, soothers, and signs on the pages with me. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this for now. Yep. And we are going to share a different screen, which is right here. And there's one more little button for me right there. I got it. I got it. So now we're back to the article that's in the workbook. That's page 57. And when we jump down here to where my cursor is, we've walked ourselves through our own individual stressors, soothers, and signs. And then here's the suggestion of what to do with that. Once you have the insight, I want you to put the insight to work. I know I'm asking more, but this will ultimately be helpful. What I want you to do is utilize your stressors list when you're planning your day. Pay attention to how many of those you put in. Sometimes we just get tangled up in the responsibilities and the chores, and we forget to see that, oh my gosh, look at, I have tipped the scale so heavy. For sure, we're all going to have volcanoes blowing up tonight because it's stress loaded for both of us. So you want to avoid getting too many in there in one day. And then using your soother list, I want you to look at your soother list and figure out a way to do at least one soother every day. Make it possible. Don't make it too elaborate or you won't do it, but find what I'm going to call quick soothers, quick ones that you can just make sure you can weave them in. And then the third one, when you recognize your own signs of trouble brewing, see those as big old red flags and take mental note and go, oh, I need to do a soother like as soon as possible, like maybe now. Because maybe when you feel yourself being short-tempered, the thing to do is zip the lip. And instead of continuing to gab in the short-tempered way, and then go, puffy cheeks, roll the eyes. 1, 2, 3, do this one with me. Roll your eyes and puffy cheeks. Right? So you can make a funny face even, and sometimes doing that funny face will do like it just did with me. A giggle will come out of you. That's an extra soother, and that's good. And in short-tempered moments, that releasing and giggling is a really, really fast, quick soother. Short-tempered was the name of almost, no, actually, I'm going to say short-tempered was on every single one of the signs of trouble brewing. So it's worth having a few ways to go, okay, when I'm short-tempered, one thing I can do is puffy cheeks like Joyce did. Another thing I can do is decide to smoosh my hands like I'm gonna wipe away whatever just made me mad. So do that one with me. Yep, I'm gonna make it go away. And others, pick your own. But my emphasis on these is quick, readily available, that you can do when you get the red flag of signs of trouble brewing. Again, our nature is to just soldier on, muscle down. Okay, carry on. I got mad because it made sense to be mad. They needed to hear that anyway. I did it. Fine. Now I'm going to do the next thing. It's important to regroup before that, carry on with all that attitude, and maybe a little bit of guilt too added, like we need that. Okay, so use them. And then looking again at the little article that's there for you to refer to, it says we're all inclined to ignore the signs of trouble brewing in ourselves. Those are the things that indicate we might actually be getting really tired. And perhaps the reason we don't want to look at it, that it's kind of scary to consider, is that maybe we're afraid we're too tired to continue. That's a scary thought, and we tend to avoid that thought. So looking tired in the eye means you have to see it, but it can also be spooky. So I'm just warning you, when you look right at it, it's like, oh, how tired am I? How numb am I? Like when my husband said, you're no fun anymore. So pay attention to yourself. And this is what I'm emphasizing on a daily basis. Notice when you're tired, do something quickly that is simple and irresistibly soothing. Nurture yourself daily is what I'm begging here. Any of us that do this will do a much better job of caregiving in the long run if we take care of ourselves in the short run. And then at the very bottom of this page, with a big loving heart, with all my heart in there, it says nurse's orders. Take one soother, even if it's just a little one, each and every day. It's some homework, but my goal, I'm going to switch screens again while I'm saying this. My goal tonight was to make this homework actually be possible. I wanted it to be simple enough that you can do it. So the danger is I might make it so simple that it seems trivial. I don't mean for this to be trivial. This is hugely significant. And the way we went about our stressors, soothers, and signs allows us to take a good look, allows us to see that other people are in the same boat, allows us to go, yep, I'm normal. And what I'm really after is keep rereading that article. Use that as much as you need to. That's why I gave it to you. Do your best to recharge your battery daily. And if daily is like, oh, come on, Joyce, really? No. Then pick the time interval that works. Okay, I can do it once a week. I'm going to start with once a week. Or maybe it's, no, you don't live in my world. I'm going to try to do a soother once a month. That's what I can manage. Okay, it's your call. I just would like you to pick an interval and go after your battery recharge. And my goal tonight was to make self-care, which is complicated, simple enough to actually do it. I wanted to make it be possible. So there you have again, the nurse's orders. Take one soother, even if it's just a little one, each and every day. So we are now at a point where we can actually do two things. If you just have any loose end questions, feel free to type those in. And I'm also going to give you another opportunity right here. Yeah. If there is a situation that's on your mind, I know tonight our focus was self-care. But if there is a caregiving situation where now that you've heard people with their anonymous ideas and talking about themselves, maybe you're like, you know, those guys in this group that are part of this participation tonight, they could help me. I've got something I want to pick their brains about. If anybody has a situation where you want new ideas, then I have another fill in the blank set up for you. So I will need to know what the situation is that's on your mind. You can put that in the chat for Benjamin. And then what I will ask the participants to do is just to toss out ideas. I want to give everybody the heads up. Any idea that you have is worth sharing, just throw it in the chat. These will be anonymous. Ideas are always anonymous. So whether you say you want to be anonymous or not, I'm not going to attach names to them. And then to be totally clear, when we're looking for ideas, I am not searching for the right or best idea. This is not a competition. What I want is all the ideas that anybody has. And I want lots of ideas. And that's because the only thing we know is whatever's happening is going to change. So you need more than enough ideas so you can refer back to them. Hoping this makes sense to everybody. A different way of looking at it. When we do group help, we're going to be making a list of ideas for that particular situation. I only want really brief things like a phrase or a word or a part of a sentence. All ideas are beyond welcome. I'm begging for them. And we're never, ever looking for the right one. No fight about right or best. We all know that what works is going to change. So you want more ideas. Now, having gone through all that blah, 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 blah about ideas, does anybody have a situation popping up in the chat where new ideas are wanted? Yes or no? Do you see anything, Benjamin? Where it got no? Okay, then I have something else I can do. I've got something I want to share. I just wanted to put this opportunity out there. Okay, so let's go back to, we're going to stop sharing that one. Oh, and I'm just going to say, if something like this pops into your head later on tonight, that's what the Hope Support Group is about. If you want ideas in the future and you're like, why didn't I ask for help with that? This group that sponsored this evening is all about helping. So please reach out to them if you wonder why you didn't take advantage of this in a couple hours. Okay, here we go. I'm stopping that one. I want a different one. And cool, it's here. And I'm going to share this. So I did not put this in your packet, but it is another way of looking at yourself for your self-care. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm thinking that that might help. Can you see? I don't know if you have a bunch of other debris on your screen or if you can mostly see this one page, right? Okay. So what this says is responsibility chart. And again, this is looking at you. And it says, I deal with, assist with, arrange for, monitor, manage, or provide. And then this is reminders out here. And notice that there are empty boxes. So what's out here is all the things that you can put your name by, or in my case with my dad, I have, for example, my sister pays all the bills, which is a godsend that I don't have to do everything. She pays all dad's bills. So I would put her name in this box. Over here on transportation, I'm the one that sets up all of dad's rides when he has to go to a doctor's appointment. And then I'm on the phone when he goes to a doctor's appointment because I'm out of state. So we're managing my dad's 93-year-old world long distance. And so I would have my name for transportation, my name for medical care, dietary needs. I'm the one that sets that up. My sister pays for it, but I set it up with the Meals on Wheels folks. So that takes care of meal preparation and dietary needs. Housekeeping, there's somebody else that does it. I don't do it, neither does my sister. Companionship, he has a lot of companionships, and I would be writing a lot of names in here for dad. But if I look at, again, off on the sidebar of companionship for me, remember when we're taking care of ourselves, this is something we need to keep going. The people in our world that give us energy, that do listen to us. But this responsibility chart is actually the way I'm working it for you right now. It's about my dad and what my sister and I do. Okay, so you kind of have the idea. You can fill this in for yourself. But here's really what I wanted you to see. This was originally designed to help caregivers go, oh my gosh, I'm doing way too much, which that may be what this does for you tonight. But no matter what I want is for this to be used to reach out to family and friends and say, there's no way I can do all of this. I am happy to take something off that's got my name on it. So when I share this, actually, I don't put my name on it. I leave my name off of it completely. And I make jokes. Anybody that comes by my house that's willing to walk into my house, I'm like, okay, how can you help me with my dad? Because I need help. I learned this lesson from a really good friend of mine named Shanna Banana, who, when my mom was living in our house, mom and dad, and mom was passing away, my son was in high school. We were applying for scholarships. He was in athletics. My husband was building a huge project that he was in way over his head as a contractor. The plate was way too full. And anybody that came over, I said, I need help. Can you make salad dressing? Can you make salad? Can you bring dinner over? How about, can you bring a book and go downstairs and read to my mom? How about, what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do. And one really dear friend said, I like to drive and your mom likes to go for rides and you're too busy to take her for a joyride. I'm going to come over and pick her up. And I was like, that's not on my list. And that was perfect, right? So you just, whatever, but share it. My tip here is share this blank and let people take a stab at what they want to offer. And you'll be dumbfounded. If you're willing to gamble with saying, I want help, and then the ego buster, I need help. I can't really do this all alone. I need help. People you wouldn't expect will step up. One of my neighbors came over and read poetry to my mom. She was like, I love poetry. I read it every morning. I'm just going to read it out loud to her. I would be reading it anyway. I was like, great. Okay. On this list, the one that was most surprising, I have to tell you this story. This was about mom. I called the daughter of friends of mine, a student nurse. And I said, you know, you're in nursing school and I could use help with my mom getting a shower. She can do it on her own, but I want somebody to learn how to help her while she actually can say how she wants it to go. So student nurse, my dear friend, student nurse, would you please come over and help my mom with her shower? Here's the student nurse. Joyce, I love your mom. I really, really want to help, but well, the deal is, I haven't seen a naked person yet, and I don't want your mom to be my first one. And so I went, okay. And she said, but I really want to help. And I went, okay, good. So we're making headway. And then you've caught the flavor. My mom really liked to read. My mom was an RN, and this was a student nurse. So I said, you know what I want you to do? I want you to bring your textbook over because you have to study anyway. And the part that you're not understanding, I want you to talk to my mom about the part you're not understanding, because my mom did every kind of nursing there is. And I guarantee you, she'll make it so you get it. I promise. She helped me get through nursing school. She'll get you through. So first, this little gal came over and she brought what she already knew all the answers to because, you know, that was safe. And then she got a little more comfy. So she did come and she did bring her textbooks and she thought I was crazy, but she did it. And then she got more comfy. And so then she actually brought the stuff that she thought she was going to fail on the test and said, I just don't get this. I really don't get this. Dorothy, that's my mom's name. Yeah. And so they went through it. Now, my mom had cognitive impairment. So keeping track of appointments, knowing who was going to come to visit at which time, organizing what to eat, those things were definitely slipping. But her old, rock solid, cemented in, highly confident knowledge about nursing, she had that dialed. And this student nurse came and they went over the stuff that she was afraid she was going to fail on her test. And the next time she came, I was upstairs. I could hear her. She threw open the door downstairs and she says, Dorothy, we got an A. And, you know, there's a lot to being able to say, I want help, I need help. And then letting people kind of fill in the blank. You don't have to be really precise about, on Tuesday, I want you to take her or him to the golf club. Let it be looser, and I think you'll get more help. And holy moly, I think we all need more help. Okay, now what I'm going to do is the little quickie review. I'm going to double check with Benjamin to see if anybody typed a situation in while I was doing something else. Did we get a situation somebody wants help with or not?
We did, although I will say Carol Becker said she really loves this chart because it's very specific. So when someone asks, how do I help? And you're like clueless, it gives you some ideas. So
yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I have to give credit where credit's due. It's too fuzzy for you even to read, but you can kind of see my cursor wiggling around. A really good friend of mine who was an RN, Marilyn Cleveland, she's the creator of this. I loved it. She made it in 1984. I've been using it ever since. I love it. And it's not new, it's Marilyn's, but yeah, I'm glad. Yay, somebody likes it as much as me.
That's awesome.
Okay.
But Paige does say, I feel like I'm near the end.
Okay.
I feel like I'm near the end of my ability to care for my mom at home. I'm looking at memory care communities, before there is a crisis, but I don't want mom to be scared.
Okay, so I think it's great. So what Paige said is she's looking into memory care. She's feeling like, read me that part again about.
I feel like I am near the end of my ability to care for mom at home. I'm looking at memory care communities before there is a crisis, but I don't want mom to be scared. I think that's probably her biggest ask is, how do I keep mom from getting scared about this move and the possibility of leaving home? And
yeah, I'm hearing that as well, Benjamin. And what I want to do is leave this for anybody to give ideas on whatever part, because there's a lot of meat in here. So if somebody wants to give a specific tip about thoughts on at the end of caring for mom, whatever that might be, or looking into memory care, or the mom, tell me the mom, I don't want mom to be afraid.
I don't want mom. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We've got our first idea.
Okay.
Carol says, can mom go with you to look at communities?
Okay, so Carol put it as a question, and I'm going to reshape it as a statement, which take mom with you to look at communities. And I'm reminding everybody, so Carol, thanks for spitting out this idea. I'm not going to put names on here, and all ideas are what I want. So we've got one. Who's got another? And it can be looking at memory care. I don't want mom to be afraid. What are ideas for that? Or that that emotion of I'm at the end of my rope. Wherever you want to throw an idea, we're helping Paige. Here we go. Who's got another one?
Find someone to help you at home.
So even though you're at the end of the rope, even though you're looking into memory care now, find someone to help. Ooh, I gotta get that. Got it. Next.
Try a brief respite stay. Kind of like
so a brief respite stay. I'm going to clarify. This is a good idea. A brief respite stay implies that this idea is an out-of-home respite. You can have people come into the home to give you a break as a caregiver, but there are also buildings that provide short-term respite. And so in the meanwhile of looking for memory care, there also is the possibility for mom to spend a couple nights someplace else, which helps learn how that first little bit of mom away from home goes. It's useful. So try a brief respite stay. Another idea?
Figure out how to get a whole day off every week.
Figure out how to get a whole day off every week. All ideas are worth considering and thinking about. Good job. I'm ready for another idea.
This is more of a statement, but can be crafted as an idea. I have an angel caregiver all day on Thursday. So
this one is an example of, and what I like is that kind of the reinforcement of the angel caregiver means, so wrapped in that statement is it's once a week. It's working out great. I love it. I did it. You can too. That's, I think, example of the angel caregiver on Tuesdays, right? And it also has I get to look forward to it. I know when it's going to happen. Cool. Any more ideas rolling in?
My parents were thrilled to have joint meals with other residents and friends as close as across the hallway. They loved it. My involvement was only oversight for a while. So I think Laura's had
encouraging words.
Right.
Yeah, this is encouraging words. I didn't expect my parents to be so thrilled about having joint meals with friends that were right across the hall. So sometimes we are worried about how the person's going to do, and they get there and blow us away with how they're doing. And this is an example of that. Don't be afraid. My folks are digging it. Cool. Who's got another one? Is there another one? I'm thinking there is. Yes, no, maybe so.
Paige notes that they lucked out on their first try with an in-home caregiver because there's some fear about how many caregivers will it take till I find the right one. Well, Paige had the experience of the first person coming to visit. It was awesome.
I always tell people that I feel like I have the coolest job in the world because I get to hang with the angels that walk on the planet.
You're right about that.
Folks that do this work are, I mean, they're amazing. And this comment, this idea of the angel caregiver, yes, and Paige's good fortune to have somebody who came and it worked great. It doesn't always work great, so that's not always the case, but being brave enough to try it, that's what you want to go for. Okay, I'm going to take us in another direction because we're kind of wrapping up. I'm thinking I've got just a minute or two, right?
That's right.
So I didn't say it at the beginning. I usually do, but I'm going to say this sort of at the ending. When I'm asking everybody to work on your own 3 S's, stressors, soothers, signs of trouble brewing. And when we go shopping for ideas in a situation that's not quite the way we want it, where we're trying to go is to come up with ideas where we get to enjoy being with the person we're responsible for. I don't want it to be a chore where they are feeling like an unemotional robot is with them. And I don't want it to be for us like, okay, I'm just going to grit my teeth and get through this moment. all of these ideas, taking care of ourselves, coming up with ideas for these situations, are all aiming at making it so we get to have a good time when we're with this person that we're helping. That's the flavor of all of this. All right, now I'm gonna once again take you in another direction. We're getting there. So we started out, whoops, I need to hit that other little button. This is where I want to be. So we started out, I said, with this page 10 out of the workbook. You can tell it comes out of a 3-ring binder. And then I showed you that we modified the way my book is written is not the way we used it tonight. We were zeroing in on caregivers need attention to. And then you have this article that is one of the pages in the workbook. And then I wanted you to see a couple other things. Oh, well, this is nice. That's what the front of the book looks like, just so you know. And this is the table of contents. And what we did tonight was we used page 10 and we used page 57. And I just wanted you to see that this section is all resources, no fill in the blank, but all the rest of this is fill in the blank. It's all things to help the caregiver have peace of mind. All this information that's in your head, if you scribble in, fill in the blanks, it's easier for somebody else to help when help is needed. You just fill in what you already know. It's not a massive homework assignment. So that is the book that we used to come up with these ideas that has that article in it. And the way we did all these things was we went through our fill in the blanks tonight that I want you to keep thinking about. Keep adding to your stressors list, your very own list. I encourage you to have your own list. That's why I gave you the messy worksheet. Keep adding to your soothers. They're going to change. So you're going to get rid of some that get worn out and aren't working anymore. And oh, sorry about that, but you're going to find new way of signs of trouble brewing. They'll be like, what? I didn't know I would ever do that. So keep your list current, keep working on them. And you know what I'm going to say next. Nurse's orders. Take one soother, even if it's a little one, every day. Okay, you guys, that gets me to the very end of what I wanted to cover tonight. Benjamin, do we have any loose ends? Do you encourage people to do some kind of evaluation or write in the chat box? Or, yeah, go. Sorry.
Julie, you're welcome to jump on if there's anything else I missed, but we certainly, anybody who's not already part of a support group, we certainly would encourage you. There's virtual options almost every day of the week, as well as in-person options if you prefer that. And they're all the way up from Portland, all the way up through Vancouver, Battleground area, Camas, and they're free and they're weekly, and you can come as many or oftentimes as you like. So a great opportunity to support one another. Yeah. Thank you, Joyce, so much.
Yeah, I'm going to ask everybody if you would scribble in the chat, give me like one little kernel of tonight. It was worthwhile for me to be part of this because I like that feedback. So if you have one little, yep, it was worth being here because this was useful, you can throw those in the chat and I would like it.
Joyce and Benjamin, I just wanted to add that we will be sending out those resources. Joyce, thank you for sharing those. We'll be sending them out to all the participants.
Yep. There is a last page that Julie, I gave to you that I forgot to show these guys, but it just lists a few books that I like. So
okay.
It's
Julie,
share it.
Julie, will you be including in the email how to get the book? We have a question on how to get the book.
Oh, here, let me do what I forgot to do, because I think that will make this easy. And then Julie, you can tell me, I think now what I'm doing is sharing a resource page, right? Everybody can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I emailed that, Julie, so it could go to all the participants. Is that true?
I believe you did, yes, but I'll make sure that that gets out to everybody.
Okay, and so if somebody wants the workbook, that can be a phone call to me or an email to me, and then we'll fill you in from there. And on this list, this Coping with Behavior Change is my favorite book for ideas. So if you are in caregiving stuff where you just want more ideas, but you don't want to do it with a group, you really don't want to talk about it with anybody, this is a great book for looking through. It's not story form, it's not long, it's just lists of things to try. It's really well written, super convenient, so you can pick it up and look at something in 5 minutes. You don't need to read it cover to cover, and it's everything from what do I do about poop on the wall, to what do I do about not sleep, to what do I do about eating all the time, to those repetitive questions. There's a section in this book about that. And then I always talk about the Powerful Tools class, because I think that is a great resource for caregivers. And then this is the name of my book, the one that I showed you tonight. So here I am. Give me a ring-a-ling if you need me.
Joyce, Carol says she loved the Soothers. Robin said these were great reminders tonight. Gloria says very worth the time, best program yet. And Shana says, thinking of my signs of trouble brewing. And Loris says, we are just diagnosed after a few years of issues and so appreciate the ideas and encouragement. Thank you. And Paige says, reading my own experiences. That was helpful for me. I haven't articulated it before.
Cool. Oh, you guys, thank you. That feedback for me is, it's my go power. It's my go power. It's my battery recharge. Thank you. Mwah.
Well, thank you again, Joyce. We always love being with you, and we hope you'll come back and join us again sometime soon.
Thank you. It's my honor. I love it to pieces. Thanks for letting me come visit.
Julie, final question to you. Julie, do you know next month's topic?
I believe next month's topic is resources for home care and placement, and those topics with a panel.
Okay.
Also, there is a class coming up offered locally, Powerful Tools for Caregivers, that will be starting in September on the first Tuesday in September. And I'll send that out in the resources as well.
I highly recommend it. I'm glad it's coming up.
Yeah. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Benjamin.
Good night, everybody.